I think this German, sort of American, plus UK, obviously Depth is behind them as the coach as well. Yeah. This is a very solid outfit as a team, and I think they're probably also a dark horse to make it through, and potentially even go pretty far in the major as well.
I think so. I think so. You know, JT gave an interview, I believe, back with HOTV coming into the RMRs, where he was saying he thinks most of the American teams in this America's RMR are going to be able to make it through. Yeah. He thinks they've all got a good shot. And of course, there is potential for that, but it's getting a little bit harder with how the bracket is starting to pan out, right? For M80, though, you're in a position where they could still springboard. By no means is it an easy game. I think for both of these teams, actually, we've done quite well with getting a fairly even matchup here that, for the neutrals, for the spectators at home, should be a banger.
Well, I think these best of ones we got, man, are very, very exciting. And the elimination match, it obviously we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but even if it doesn't look like the craziest of Counter-Strike on paper, it could be a really intense affair. However, we are already live. On to Ancient Legacy kicking things off on the CT side, and M80 with a fair bit of utility, 2 Molotovs and 2 smokes to play with.
Here we go then. First pistol round of the second day of the Americas RMR. With a perfect world major leading up to Shanghai. A lot of excitement on the line. It kicks off with a couple of pot shots being thrown out. Ooh, tag up, push straight through the flames. Lake with the damage done. And that's a hell of a way to make your entry. Back of the bomb site claimed. You've got it locked down for the retake towards CT as well. Looking like a clean pistol round here, Vince.
Incredibly clean. And now Nekis, who started so strongly yesterday, has to try and clutch out with Sads, and they have the kit, but they need to get these kills. The time is already so low. It just doesn't look possible. And Swisher and Lake lay it down. Convincing, clear, clinical open around here for M80.
That was beautiful. Nice play from Lake, straight in, took control, goes through the flames towards the back of CT, took the peek onto him, hits the shots, and opens it up nicely for the side. So bright and early, they're straight into it. Come out swinging with the pistols. Put a little bit of pressure on. Ideal way to kick off the T-side campaign.
I can't ask for more than that, really. And Legacy straight into a force of their own. Sat behind the smoke. We're going to get 2 players aggressive down up on the elbow side. Because they don't have cave control, though, once that smoke begins to fade with a Molotov, they're going to be called into trying to get aggressive up on Cats. That's up close with a 5-7, missing out, and Swisher. That 1 kill probably finalizes the post plant. They're in that awkward position as well, Legacy, where they've already lost 2 players. So they even want to go for this. The chances of getting through the smoke and getting any kind of retake in play is pretty low. You have weapons, you have Kevlar. Is it not worth just pulling the plug here, Jackie, and saving and coming back into the next round?
I'd agree, man. It looks like they've gone for the same decision-making as well. Posture off now. He didn't really get much of a look in. There was no one else going for a sort of chaotic play close up towards it as well. So not going to hang around and wait for your weapons to just be thrown cautiously into the wind. Lake, however, might be able to find a little bit more money-making out there. Shaking the MAC-10 towards middle. If you could farm up a little bit of cash, it's more just getting the weapons out of their hands. But the 5-7s are going to be able to be brought into the next. Stay alive with that for Lee. So minor consolation prize. The round itself, though, is M80s, and they double up early.
Those 3 save weapons, though. The pistols, more importantly, the Kevlar, is still in use on the side of Legacy. They started very strong against Furia, but what was impressive to me, Jackie, is the resilience they showed going into multiple overtimes. Down, they saved, I think, 4 in total match points against Furia. Weathered the storm, came out the other side. So down but never out is pretty much their mentality. Now going to be getting aggressive, taking the fight right now. Catch Slacks and deal a headshot. Not able to capitalize on top of it, but Lake is going to go the way of the Dodo. Down to the USP. This is where ultimately the superior firepower should start to prevail.
And this is the player we were highlighting, of course, from yesterday. Sadzin on Legacy. Very impactful plays with the AWP. It felt like he had a lot of reverberations throughout the rounds. He's finding impact frags, but it was interesting, right? He wasn't overly aggressive. He knew when to taper it off and play a little bit smarter. Here, close towards Cave. Goes for a bit of a look-in. Won't find much for it. Slacks was the low man off the back of the opening dink, and because of the timing on it, he switched his attention. That's the bomb on the back as well. So Nekis At the very least, with the trigger discipline, he might be able to make a hell of a play if he can get the second as well. Grab himself the AK, back of the box. Oh, Vince, there was a timeline. It got so damn spicy. And Dumao was looking to see if he's still living there. But we've switched realities and Rek stops the panic.
Oh, Neck is just ice in his veins there. Just so composed. M80 recover, but man, that was nearly a special moment for Nekis and Legacy. That would have been an incredible steal as well. They come straight back into weapons. Now, keep in mind, they did do quite a bit of damage to the economy. Lake down 950, Sin mid that 1,600, Slacks around $1,000. Now, sure, they got plenty of cash. They can go in for the next round, but if Legacy can get a bit of consistency here and snap back twice, that's where it can catch up with them. Got to make the most of these M4s, though. All of that is null and void if they cannot get success in this round. Their first rifle round, a lot of importance already. Best of ones fly by so quickly. But they have done a good job though, Jackie, early on just tempering the aggression and forcing the T's back.
Tiptoeing their way back towards the B-bomb site. Nades to play with, but it's the CT side that's starting to run relatively dry. So last smoke thrown out, only at the minute mark as well. So ramp is going to be clear. They'll still have a ton of time to work with. Lake with the HE primed as well. You get both of the stereo smokes up. Block the back of the bomb site off, clear the line of sight. They burst through early, breaking the smoke and allowing Lake to go in for the entry. Bit of damage back onto Rek, and the Flames give some info up, but it's all about the shutdown from Legacy now. If they can find a pick and look for the retake, there's at least one. Double up as well. Smoke shots connect, and Rek falls.
Already, though, that timer has been ticking away ever so quickly. They're forced out into a Molotov. That's a lot of damage, and the follow-up is there as well. But a team wounding and a team kill thrown in the mix. And Legacy have been slumped, collapsed by the crossfire. The Molotov did so much damage, and they were kind of so desperate trying to get past one another that they ended up taking a shot in the back of the head for the team kill as well.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
All did get a bit messy, didn't it? Things that go bump in the night on the back of the B-bomb site there, and it's worrying. Especially with the smoke shots they found to actually set up the round. Ooh, that's the crouch peek into it. Damn, okay, M80 certainly feeling it. If there's any questions about energy, Vince, we saw some teams yesterday feeling like they had a little bit of a slow start to wake up. M80, they've had their breakfast.
Oh, yeah. They've tasted defeat, and they came back and they got a win. Huge. Great for confidence. And, I mean, speaking of confidence, it doesn't get much better than a 4-0 start, eyeing up 5-7 in an eco round for Legacy. And so for all of the economic potential turmoils and twists and turns we discussed, none of it's been realized or actualized here because M80 comes straight back, get the post blank, get the win. And Legacy eyeing up a 0-5 start to kick off their ancient CT side. Dumao yet to get off the mark. He was one of their players on Inferno against Fury that really popped off. He was having so many impactful rounds, playing aggressively on the CT side. So far, he's offered nothing.
Hasn't really been able to get himself activated at all. And it's uncomfortable for Sadzin as well, of course, because you're not really being able to see him play that sort of style of CS that we expected to see from him just with the state of economy you've been in early on their CT side. And again here, M80, do your due diligence, slow it down. You know you've got a huge advantage in the round. Walk out, contact into the B site, make sure your angles are clear. Don't throw away any weapons for careless reasons. And again, with Legacy, it's kind of the rough part of it, Vince, right? You know you've got to save your weapons at least. You're going to have the armor and the 5.7s into the next, but it feels a little bit deflating this early on with how the rounds have been going.
I think deflating is a really solid way to explain it as well, because they've had moments, but then immediately, as soon as they take one step back, it's like they're just being slapped back against the ropes again. They can't quite fully free themselves out. And you can see that in terms of trying to take a bit of mid-control into cave. They've not been able to do both simultaneously. That's something that will need to change, because right now, M80, they're finding their rhythm, they're finding their groove. Legacy need to do something to snatch back that respect. Oh, salt in the wounds. An airborne Lake. As soon as his feet touch the ground, body bags another. Now, of course, there will be a full-on investment coming through. It's max round loss bonus, so they're fine to get an AWP in play now for Sadzin, and he immediately snatches in for it. But we're already reaching that point, Jackie, and it sounds strange to say it round 6. We're already reaching that critical mass moment for me where Legacy are looking over a potential M80 that are about to just sprint away from them, and they need to desperately just grab onto them and try and close the gap a little bit.
No, 100%. This is one of those big key rounds of the game. It's a key to victory to sort of get yourself on the board right here, right now. Like you say, Sadzin donning the AWP, that's his signature weapon. We know how effective he can be with it. You've got to prove that here. Opening moments of the round, at least, with the initial splash damage, it's fairly good. Tags go out from the HE, put a bit of pressure on towards mid, chip damage, distributed onto both Rec and Lake, making it easier to convert the kills in the M4's late round. They don't overstep the mark, though. No stranger to playing a slow style of CS. They'll keep you guessing a little bit here.
The problem here, though, is that although Legacy have done a decent job of holding an 80 at arm's reach, their lack of utility is a real problem. They've got one smoke they've just tossed out from Lato. No more smokes. 3 flashes, that's it. M80 have tons of time now to dissect this map, figure out where they want to push into, and if this goes into a post plant, there's such little for Legacy to play with. This is a concern right now. This first kill needs to light up in favor of Legacy, otherwise they could be just scrambling, and that's what they've got. Nekis, through the smoke, takes the head of Lake.
That's a sick first kill, at least. That's what you want for Legacy. Great read, good positioning, spam down, it pays off. And Lake's been a bit of a nuisance as well. He's the one that's getting activated for M80. Very in your face, aggressive player in the first couple rounds. We saw that he was putting pressure on Legacy, so shutting him down. It's a big scalp to take. The double up on the back of the box as well works well to control towards Cave, but they just try and brute force it. Trades are rough, but they will at least find one back from Sin, but it's down to just a duo. Sadzin on the site. Uncomfortable miss there, Vince. This was the problem yesterday. Some of the sleepers, some of the easy shots he does miss, but he always shows up in the big moments. He's got back up on the bomb site for the retake, though.
Yeah, that miss has afforded them the luxury of getting a post plant, though, from an M80's perspective, and they're going to punish. Sadzin comes in finally, but is it too little too late? Rek now on a 1-on-2, knows where one of these two players are, and he spins in for the kill to Nekis. 27 HP, separating a 6th round, and Legacy getting on the scoreboard finally. Peeks out, another miss shot from Sadzin, gets punished. And there is the lack of consistency that we were touching on. He lands the crazy flicks, but sometimes misses the sitters, and this time it gets punished.
Would have been such a different round, right? And Legacy, man, it's kind of rough because you don't want to harp on them too much. We know they're a team that can expand. They can get back into a game like this. They can certainly prove they can do great things in the zone. But even with a round like this, Vince, such a large lead, perfect setup, great position to be in. The difference a single AWP shot would have made. The 3 versus 2 with control towards Cave would have fragmented it. They don't get side control. Suddenly it's just Rek in a rough spot. Instead, it's Rek that goes on to win the round in the 1v2, giggling his way through that one. Fair play, nice shots as well. But like you say, for Sadzin, man, you hope it's not going to creep in, right? The voices in the back of your head. Yesterday he was playing great CS. It wasn't one of those games where you think, oh, you know, he's the new man on the block. He's trying to get himself into a position at the RMR where he proves who he is. He just played his own game. Matchup like this, though, Vince, you're staring at an 0-6 scoreline going into day 2. You've got to keep yourself drilled in.
You got to somehow just put that deep into the recesses of your mind, because you know 2 shots there would have sealed this round up in favor of Legacy, and instead he's back to a USP. May not get many other opportunities on this half with the AWP. That's the problem. The economy has been so deadly against them. Obviously, max round loss bonus is always going to help matters out, but you're already trailing 6-0. Looking like a 7-0 on the cards. Dumao still hunting for his first kill on this half. Will his prayers be answered here as he's about to get pushed in from all 5 of M80, 5-7 alongside him. It doesn't have that much support in the form of the MP9, but it's in Donut. It's been smoked off as well, so M80 stampeding onto the site, pretty much uncontested while those smokes are in play. But there is Dumao, flashbang alongside it, takes down Lake.
5-7 open is good. Oh, Nekis. He thought he was slick getting himself onto the back of the bomb site to be able to bolster the defense with the MP9, but that SMG blown away by the AWP shot. And that was your little boon. The extra bit of edge they potentially had. Now with 40 seconds left on the clock, it's an advantage in terms of the manpower and especially the angles. You've got everything cut off. If Legacy go for an info play, it should be an easy pickup. They wrap back towards Temple side. You've got that covered by Swisher. And they can afford to let this one cook. Slow it down a little bit. Sin's got the bomb, and they've got a bit of time. No smokes, but you do have flashes.
20 seconds on the clock, though, is going to begin to become a problem they have to address. Effectively a fourth player for Legacy while it still ticks away. Missing the shot is Slacks, but it's fine. Sin and Swisher with their 2 AKs and do all the damage that's required as M80 dial in a 7th unanswered round already. The T side of Ancient, it can be fickle for the CTs, but not this much, Jackie. I mean, this has been incredibly one-sided.
There's 2 rounds that could have changed the course of the game, really, for Legacy CT half. Completely went against them, though. Been unlucky in a few of these positions. Pressure put on from the pistol round instantly as well, with M80 just coming out swinging. And that tempo's never gone away. And this really is probably the last chance we're going to see Sadzin out with the AWP, right? He does don it finally. It's back out in his hands. 2 frags to his name. Dumao's got himself on the board. We need a whole lot more. This is one they can't afford to concede. You've got to instantly find yourself an answer. It's already deep into the half. Slacks on the other side's got one to work with as well. It's Lato up close towards Cave, looking for the initial info. Nade round the corner is going to tag him.
I've consistently seen though that Legacy, they're not pushing the tempo on the CT side. They're deep and passive almost every single round, and it is the kind of map that lends itself to being aggressive. Take the T's out of their comfort zone. Right now, M80 just systematically taking mid-control. It may not be rapid, it may be later on in the round. They're giving up a lot of map right now for Legacy. You can understand why, because they've constantly been prioritizing firepower over utility to get those AWPs in play. That has been a problem. M80 probably feels so comfortable right now, flashing out, Molly designated to red room. Sadzin can have no impact for a little bit, and they're taking Cave now too.
Back to basics, run the clock down. Go for the late round play. And like you say, a lot of that is given to them, the luxury because of the lack of utility from Legacy CT side. You can't hold back the wave, and here comes the assault, wreck straight in. Lato good for a first, doubles up, at least buys a bit of time. It's an equal situation. There's the Sadzin we know and love. Goes for the swing out, takes down Sin, but Swisher with a flicker hits the head back on the Neckers, and Slacks connects the shot onto the counter AWP, and it's all on Dumao. Low HP. A sweaty position to be left in. Nades bursting in his face. It's going to take him down to 8 HP. No point going for it. It's again just one weapon you save. And for M80, it's a flawless half that continues. 8 rounds without conceding a single.
Man, if you're depth right now, you just stood back there. It's like that meme. You know, the absolute cinema meme. He just sat behind his teammates like, this is amazing. But there were a couple of big mistakes that M80 just made. They missed a Molotov on the cave entrance, and Lato got 2 kills from that position. For all intents and purposes, M80 shouldn't have been let go on the site. They missed a key Molotov. They executed with 15 seconds left. They hemorrhaged casualties, and they still get the round. It's just inconceivable. Like, M80 can do no wrong right now. Even when they make mistakes, it works in their favor.
Weird as well, because it just seems like you're kind of passing the baton on Legacy, right? One player is able to find some impact, but no one's ever activating together. Again here, it's so brutal. You actually do find the important pickups, and there's no room to convert.
Let's go!
The difference in the camps as well. Frustration for Legacy, everyone looking like it's really starting to set in, the reality of this game so far. It's from 80, they've just been screaming the whole way through. Every clutch, they're living their movie. And fair play to him, Vince. You know, it is a blockbuster at this point.
Oh, they're loving life. The red carpet's been rolled out once again on middle, and they're making the most of it. It's a fact that Legacy, I don't want to harp on this point too much, but at some point, Jack, you have to realize it's not working.
Yeah.
You have to change something up. Where's the tactical timeouts been for Legacy as well, by the way? Where is the idea of trying to recollect yourself and figure out, right, this isn't working, so where do we go next? Where's plan B? Where's plan C? We haven't seen them push A main. We haven't seen them go down ramp other than in an eco round. They're barely taking mid control. If you're not hitting your shots, you have to mix it up, boys. Like, you're getting peppered right now. The thing that blows my mind, though, Jackie, is no real tactical timeouts being called in these rifle rounds.
Yeah, especially off the back of how many like raw gun rounds you've lost as well. You know, on one hand, I understand the duality of it, where you're thinking, all right, boys, like we've had a few close run-ins. Next time we'll get it. We'll finally be able to pick one up. Don't worry, just keep going. But like you say, you're tunnel visioning a little bit. You need that different perspective. Pump the brakes, slow it down. It could break some of the momentum from M80 as well, because they are just playing with that pace. Legacy again here. Horrible position to be left in. 2 players left alive. It's Barton and Lato. And again, that same thought is running through your mind. All you can do is back off and save. They're keeping some of these weapons alive on occasion, Vince, you know, cycling them through the rounds, but nothing's being done with them, and that's the rough part.
I mean, take nothing away from M80. They're playing excellently. You know, everyone's hitting their shots. It's a real collective effort. Nobody falling behind. They've won 3v5s and 2v4s they have no business winning in the first place. So take nothing away from M80. This has been a really, really solid performance. They'll be very happy with how these opening 9 rounds have gone, but if the opposition is playing really well, you've got to do something to knock them off kilter. You can't just keep ramming your head into a brick wall over and over and over and over again. And it's mad to me. It's M80 that called the first tactical timeout. They're being chilling at 9-0. It's like, all right, boys, let's make them tilt a little bit on this one.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a weird one, especially yesterday as well, because it felt like it was very methodical. It was one of those RMR days where tactical timeouts were used in droves, right? Every team was making really important timeout calls, and it broke the pace a lot of times. You could see that flip around. Weird start. Weird start to day 2 of the Americas RMR for Legacy. But there you go. That's the M80 pause off the back of it. Sadzin, he pulls out the AWP again. Difference is this time, outside of the actual weaponry, right? It's the smokes. So much loss bonus, consistently losing these rounds. They've been able to save up a bit of cash to work with, reinvested into. And that lack of utility is what's really been ruining the late round, right? Well, you've seen these last-minute executes from A, going in sort of 30, 24 seconds into the round with minimal time left. One smoke could make so much difference on a bomb site. And they've never had that luxury. They do switch up the pace as well. Here's some aggression. Okay, you take mid-control, you fight for lane. Legacy, it's switching it up a little bit, and it works for the opening picks. You get 2 frags off the back of it. Nekis is low, but he's still alive, and that's what matters.
That's it. They were proactive. They got the reward they were looking for. Where was this the last 10 rounds? Obviously, you can't do it every single round. Of course not. It's mad to think it's this late on, though. A team kill thrown in the mix from Swisher. Can't blame him for that, though. And it is a 1-on-2. Legacy, please. Do not let another one slip through your fingers, and he's burnt to a crisp, Nekis.
It's Spread. He's got too close to it, and Spread, but he had 7 HP, so he's done for, and Sin's got confidence in the 1v1, takes the fight. Woo. Okay. Sadzin gets it. Oh, I don't know how to feel about this round, Vince.
Yeah, I think Legacy are probably on the same page as you right now. It's like a part of you wants to be hype and like, yeah, come on, boys. Another one's like, what just happened? That's only our first round. You got to start from somewhere, though. If they can maybe get like a 9-3, win the second pistol, there's a lot of maybes, ifs, and buts. There is a way back. Love the aggression, though. We've been waiting for that. Waiting for that so many rounds. The question for me is, do they go for it again? Do they try mid? Do they try and get outside of A main? Unfortunate for Nekis, who was low.
Sazim. For him, at least, of course, being the man that stayed alive, he kept the AWP. And here we go. This is some of the pace we wanted to see. They are playing a little bit more aggressive, but they're switching it up. So Sadzim went for the initiative peek onto the B-bomb site early. He's looking for that opening frag down through ramp. Can't grasp it. Gets a limited amount of information from it. But again, M80 toying with them. Smokes over, little bit of info towards the B-bomb site off the back of that initial read. But you slip round through the cave smoke, set yourself up. Making noise towards A as well, keeping them guessing. Lato hit a couple of shots earlier. 5 frags to his name. He's posted up inside a cave. They've been doing a good job of making it uncomfortable for him with the utility, at least. Needs to have a big impact on this one.
They slow down the pace again, but M80 very slow to execute quite a few times. Winning out on their duels, can't rely on that forever. Grenades are good though. Lato shredded down to 22. more shrapnel than man right now as he tries to limp his way through the smoke. And they have mixed it up. We haven't really seen M80 dart through on Donut just yet. It's typically been the A main executes. This could catch them out in an awkward position, but he has Nekis watching his back where the FAMAS runs out of ammunition. 2 clean entries, and that will be another post plant.
Lato goes straight into the scope of Slacks, posted up and ready for the peak. Pop over the top as well so he can swing back into it. Forced off by the Molotov. Barton knows he's got him pegged towards the right-hand side. Oh, tried to go for the no-scope, no connection. Barrel in the belly, but no one goes. And Barton, with the backup of Sadzin, is there room for a second round? A clutch required from them. Sin's on the off-angle close. You need Sadzin to find it. There's the backstab. Time is really starting to tick, though. You've not got long left on this one. Needs to defend the diffuser. He's going to jump on the bomb, but late with the spray is good for the first. The shot goes straight back. It's going to be real close on time. Sadzin jumps on it. Skin of his teeth. That's how they get a second round.
Life signs. Sadzin getting a bit hype at the end there as well, screaming to his teammates. It's a round realistically they shouldn't be in. It was looking like they were dead and buried. It was a 2v4 that ended up scraping off the floor. They're keeping themselves in this match.
Nice! Porra, mano, vamos ganhar essa merda, velho! Nice! Bora, caralho! Nós é muito...
Still in it.
Man, you love to see it as well, but the fact he's the one, right, obviously with 2 clutches now, 2 rounds, he's the one trying to invigorate the team, get everyone hyped up again. Like you say, keep your heads in it. You do not want to lose this matchup. For M80, they're just thinking about closing it down, though. Played a blinding T-half up to this point. Last round of the first half live. Already instant engagements. Nekis thrown out the window. Lake, he's dried up. You're down to 4 players left. Swisher left on 3 HP from the opening engage as well. They've got bomb control on Slacks. The rest of the squad starting to wrap back. They're going to group up for the late round play towards A potentially here. Droves of utility for the T side. Far more limited for the CTs of Legacy, Vince. It's the 1 Molotov, just 2 flashbangs on the back.
We are starting to see them win out on some of these duels. It was a part of their game that was eerily absent for those first 10 or so rounds. But now they're starting to find their form. Sadzin on the periphery of the smoke, needs to jump spot. It's not going to be ideal with the AWP. Because of how slow M80 have been in these rounds, you can see that Legacy aren't fully committing to this just yet. Now that Molotovs are starting to come down, they may start to retreat those 2 players over from B, but they're still like statues, finally starting to make a move around. They've kind of been conditioned so far, have Legacy to be very slow in these rotations. So post-plant in, Swisher still alive on those 3 hit points. Going to be playing up close. Sadzin, though, has picked up the first before Swisher darts through. He knows that Sadzin's also around the corner, trying to bait out those shots. And this is allowing Slacks to stabilize himself. And he puts the AWP to use. Lato in trouble, surrounded by T's. And not much time left on the clock either. No grenades to help him out, and he's gonna get shut down by Slacks on the side. M80 with 10 rounds on this half.
Even went for the pistol fake flash over the box, Vince, just to add insult to injury, to mess with the man when he's really left in such a rough position. Fair play to Swisher as well, by the way. Heads up play, right? Gets into the close angle, knows exactly his win condition with such low health. First shot was great, finds the follow-up aggression onto Sadzin. M80. I do love the fact that over the course of this T-half, right, they were able to play their own game in and out, but even late round, 20 seconds on the clock, it's not like they ever got panicky. The comms always looked relatively clean, Vince. They were able to play their style of CS and do it without running into the unknown. Clean shots from Slacks as well on the face out with the AWP. And yeah, fair play, you would be in a good mood right now. Oh, there we go. Cheeky bit of info caught on that one as well. Let's see if they do. They're just going to be sprinting into them.
Yeah, you don't want to get too cocky, though, in these positions if you're M80. Like, you can't afford to throw the pistol round away. We've seen many times a 10-2 scoreline quickly deplete to just a couple of rounds difference. So it's great to have confidence, but it can start to turn into arrogance if you're not careful. But I think Depp's the kind of guy as well, obviously we both know, very calm, very collected, very humble dude. So I'm sure he'll be rallying and reining them back just a little bit to get fully focused into this round. They're going to be playing pretty default, leaving Swisher alone on the B side. Maybe a bit unorthodox to stack 3 on A. But so far, Legacy haven't really pushed anything too aggressively. They're sat back and waiting.
If M80 expected an early scrap, those expectations have at least been subverted for now. They've still got a few nades to work with. It's the one smoke set up for Sadzin. Molotov over. Clear out cave, a little bit of space being taken. Call for the rotate as well as Swisher realizes what's about to go down on the B bomb site, and they've got a stack arriving soon. Swisher with a USP looking for the peek out. Sees where they are, calls for the full rotate now as well, and that's going to be Slacks with a late flank towards the back. Lato. Oh, the second shot's quite tasty. Bit of body blocking, but he still tucks back in.
Jump peek as well, but Lake's able to get the one. Slacks from behind, though, is making this just a little bit scary. Lake needs to keep up this kill. He gets one as well. Suddenly into a 2-on-2, this looked like an unwinnable round. It may still end up being the case. Lake with the kit needs to push forward. Timer is so ever closer to detonation. Lake with a beautiful tap, and there's another one. It's going to be close, but he should have enough time. Lake with an audacious clutch. 11-2 the score.
Oh, mate, look at him as well. Styling it out whilst pulling off the defuse. I mean, yeah. All 3 of those kills were so tasty. Absolute snaps. Hitting them with the hurty-verties. Oh, bro, it looked like it was done, Vince. Lato with the double piece towards the back of the bomb site, setting him up. 2v1, again, another 2v1 that they've lost as well. And it's just Lake. Instantly engages, the man with the kit pulls off the play, everyone's living it large.
Out of nowhere, a 4K for Lake. And surely any hopes at a second wind have just been dashed. How do you bounce back if you're Legacy? Well, maybe unleash and unshackle Sanizin. Let him just go straight in for the jugular. 2 kills immediately on the scorecards, and Barton comes in with a 3rd. Legacy still refusing to go down, still fighting.
Hit him with a fast play onto the B-bomb site. Give yourself at least one more round. Still going to be so rough for them, though. M80, it feels like it's just been divine intervention in the clutch again and again. And Lake's been playing a great game. Early on into this one, even the opening pistol round, right? It was like 3 kills back at the bomb site. He was able to make the play, get the entries on T side with a Glock. Consistently been delivering with some impact frags.
Looks like he'll hold on to that A4 as well. Oh, spoke too soon. Did land a fair chunk of damage onto Sadzin, but wasn't enough to save the M4. And they're looking at a very likely force buy here as well. Like your $1,400, the extra M4 would have been worth a huge amount. But yeah, they just picked up the pace, as you said. If we're going to go down, boys, we might as well go down on our own terms. Just straight up rush the site. No frills, nothing particularly special about it. And maybe M80 hadn't quite come down from the hype of the previous round just yet, so they hit him hard. They say in football you're always most likely to concede after you've scored. Just happened there for M80 pretty much.
They were so pumped as well. I mean, fair play. But it is one of those, like you say, it can get you a little bit. Here for Nekis, it's going to be the surprise swing. All grouped up down on the ramp. You take contact. They throw off the angles, making him flick his crosshair so you can peek together. 1 for 2. Attempting to see just how much they can squeeze out of this round with the investment M80 have put into it, into the 5-7s. It's a heads-up call for Sin on low HP to wrap back around. Swisher with a love tap as well. He's just making sure he's still switched on in the round, Vince. He doesn't want him to, you know, fall off on this one.
I wonder if that's him turning his mouse and it hit the keyboard.
It could be.
I think that's what it was, because you saw him switch nearly a 180-degree turn.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
That is the classic.
It is a classic for sure, and it would be the right angle as well for a right-handed player. So I wonder if that's what happened. He did see a quick smile on his face as well when it panned to his camera, a bit of a grin. And when you've got such a huge lead, you're feeling good about how you're playing right now. And Slacks has picked himself up one. Going for the premature rotation, though, as Barton. He gets caught in the back from Sin. That is an AK now traded up on 33 HP. You better believe he wants to just save this. It is a 2v2, though, so perhaps not. Allow Swisher to maybe activate in. Baited into a false sense of a potential clutch, which has been denied. But they're keeping the economy low on Legacy, keeping them rebuying. 11-4 the score, but there will be no forthcoming purchases. There's no money left in the bank.
I thought that one was actually going to get snatched away as well. Spam was on target. Got the wall bang off. Would have been a two-piece for Sin from the back line with the scavenged AK. Did damage, but obviously couldn't quite convert it. And lucky Lato was ready for things, because 5 HP is all you had left on the other man alive. Could have been risky. Running out towards middle, M80. No cash in the pocket, so you've got to switch things up. Barreling in. One by one, they're finished. It is only Sin that remains alive. Very low on health as well. Just try and keep it clean for Legacy would be the win condition, and that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah, that flash that was tossed in was the MVP. All 5 of M80 were fully blinded, which allowed that shooting gallery to come through into fruition. Second tactical timeout called. Want to make sure they make the most of this rifle round now. They've been waiting for a little while. It's going to include the AWP in the hands of Slacks. You can see a FAMAS in play as well. They're going to have plenty of utility alongside it. But they'll know as well M80 is as confident and as courageous as they've been throughout the bulk of this map. They know if they lose this, Legacy could bring this back to an 11-7, 11-8 scoreline. That's where things start to get interesting. So there is a lot of pressure on this round right now.
They don't get any easier. But Legacy getting the sleep out of their eyes and waking up here on Ancient. Best of one, rough position to be in the Swiss. Gonna try and keep things looking up. Early utility thrown out, looking for the splash damage onto Lato. Beats the timing somewhat, only a small amount of damage done. 5 HP stripped off from the HE. 2 smokes remaining early on as well, so M80 late round. Questions could be raised, but Legacy, I mean, to be fair, the clock's kind of been a non-starter for them. It's been a lot more focused on just the fights itself, so that might not even matter.
Yeah, exactly. The clock was always a bit of an adversary of M80 on their T side. It's not been the case for Legacy. They've been fast, they've been up in the face. I wonder if some of that has just been the freedom that being on the brink of defeat affords you. When you start to get closer, is that when you become a little bit more tight? A little bit more concerned? There is a certain freedom to throwing caution to the wind. Once you realize that comeback is a possibility, will that have impacts on Legacy's thought process in terms of their executions? Well, so far, Beck is really slowing this one down, but it has afforded Rek the opportunity to move into A main on the close angle with that FAMAS.
Oh, Rek on the off angle. Ready for it on the peak, Nekis. Went for the swing in, even gets the info as well, so he can flash that and bail. No, Sadzin was trailing him, he doesn't want to wait around, so you get out. They get the all-important pick they wanted, and there's no trade from it. Could have gone even better for M80 as well. Slacks with a little cheeky swing. Tried to put another bullet in them and slow them down further, and this time, Vince, the clock really is an issue. 15 seconds on the timer. Slacks on the bomb site, slicing them up as the AWP does damage. Dumao with 2, but 9 seconds on the clock. Barton, he knows he's got no opportunity in this one. Has to run straight forward. Rek will connect the headshot. The match point is made.
Yeah, you called it though, Jackie. Rek getting the kill but staying alive and finding the AWP's position was huge. It's this kill, and then he backs off, baits the shot out. At that stage, M80 know exactly what is coming up. There was not enough time for a rotation. And they even had to clear A main fully as well. They weren't sure if Rek was just in a different off angle to get a second frag. Huge. Making the most of Legacy not being aggressive early on and reaping the rewards and benefits from it. So Legacy call a tactical timeout, their second one of the game. With 7 rounds required to save to take us to OT.
Thing is, with how they've been playing as well, right? It is kind of mad that that's the one round where it goes against sort of what we were setting up. We're like, oh, they can have really fast rounds. Clock's never really been an issue. Obviously, you're so isolated in terms of the map control that M80 were able to take and the picks they found. They had to make a late round out of it. At least here, it might be a blessing in disguise that there is no warp in the hands of Sadzin. Play a little bit more of a wolf pack. It's been those aggressive rounds that have worked for them. Default smokes go out early. Last chance saloon then. Got to be flawless from this point forward. Feels like they've been hit with the unlucky stick in some of the rounds. But if the individuals can step up, you never really know. Right now, though, M80 looking like they're just waiting to close this one. 13th, if they can pick this round up and shut down the game here in the Americas, RMR. Slacks on the back of the bomb site. He was good in the last round. Let's see him and Swisher deal damage here.
Oh, Swisher with 2. They were baited out to the backside of the site. They got their man, but Slacks is capable of laying this round bare. And although they're going for that plant, there's Molotov and the wall bang alongside. It is enough to deal with Sadzin. And the curtain beginning to come down in this 1-1 matchup. It's looking as though Legacy are on the brink of defeat. Lato may be healthy, but he's encircled by CTs. No control over the bomb, no grenades, and now no life. 13-5 the score. A clinical performance from M80.
It really was. It really was. It looked surgical, the way they played it. Man, it's rough as well, right? Because they were playing really smart CS and a lot of the rounds playing to their style, but also just the individuals, Vince. It looked like they were outclassing Legacy, which is odd compared to yesterday. I felt like Legacy, they put up a great fight, gave a really good account of themselves. Not the same team here. M80, they can't fault them. Played some amazing CS on that one. Lake as well. Started the game off brilliantly, kept on balling.